Hi, welcome to Talking with Natasha and Beluga, starring Natasha
and Beluga. So, I would like to start off saying
we read the introduce our guest star.
Oh, my bad.
We also have a guest star today.
This is my boyfriend on the phone.
Not his boyfriend. He will be slightly contributing.
I will be saying nothing.
He will be saying nothing, but he'll be here. So if you hear noises, it's him.
Yeah.
So
and also we're tired because it's midnight right now.
And it's finals week. But at least we got it in within the 24 hours that
we're making the effort.
Woo.
And we have mugs to make it look good.
We do have mugs.
I hope you like our setup. It took a long time.
Oh yes, it did. We would like to start off saying we read the book.
It's also not black coffee. So I'm not a psychopath. We did read the book right here.
Read the book. This is it right here.
This is it right here.
My copy's at home, but so we read it.
We read it. It was an interesting book. I personally like this cover. I want to start off by saying it was really interesting. I like the matchbox and the book. It just
Okay, now we'll actually talk about the book. So
while you talk, I'm gonna look professional with the mug.
Alright. So, when reading the book, you're introduced to the main character, who is Guy Montag. And right off the bat, you kind of learn that he's kind of this conform to the rules, society-bending kind of man, like how most of society is made. And when reading the book, he is a firefighter. So, unlike the firefighters in our reality, it's more of like a fire starter. So
it's a dystopian world.
It is a dystopian world.
It's dystopian. So the firefighters don't actually fight fires. They start them in order to destroy books that people have.
Arson.
Yeah.
Arson. Yes. Arson. Speaking of arson.
Sorry.
Arson.
Anyway.
We're impressive.
So
they burn books in order to kind of stop the flow of knowledge.
They burn books to stop the flow of knowledge, not so much as they burn books to... It seems like they burn books to prevent the feelings of others from getting hurt. Because the rationale that Beatty gave Montag was that the immigrants in the minor parties, they wanted, or the minorities in their world, they preferred to not have this very harsh and feeling. How do I word this?
I'm trying to get what you mean. See if I can.
Yeah, no, it's Okay, so snowflakes. Do
you know the term snowflakes?
If you don't know the term snowflakes, we're gonna tell you.
The term snowflakes is if I say, I guess it's a slightly offensive joke, but it's not. It's not meant to offend. It's just a little joke.
Yeah,
it's
like when we call each other beaner in class.
It's or if you make one of those little slight half jokes about maybe an Asian cut you off and you're oh gosh darn Asians driving.
Yeah, but it's in a
in a joking manner. But then someone gets butthurt about it. That's a snowflake.
Person. So it's the reason that they say that Beatty explains to Montag that he starts reading, they stopped banning books. They started banning books was in order to make sure that nobody's feelings were really getting hurt. Mm-hmm. Because they wanted to I don't know, that's just how he explained it. But when you really think about it, the way that they're forming the society is kind of like how Gen Z is kind of trying to form society.
I am slightly disappointed in my own generation. Because, if you look at it, we do get offended by, the smallest things. And, one of the things that proves it is, cancel culture. If someone says the wrong thing, someone immediately gets canceled. No, one time we canceled you. I don't know if you remember. That was a joke, though. I hope you know.
But, yeah, when it comes to things like cancel culture,
someone says, and it doesn't even have to be something big. It could just be something that you don't agree with them on, which isn't
there's a whole cancel culture thing for people who supported Trump in his height of his elections and all that stuff, and they were canceled. But then the Trump supporters.
By mouthing BTS, watch how quickly all of Twitter gangs up on you.
No, that's true. So
if you don't like a band. If you don't like BTS is one because
or Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande, yeah.
Or Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so you the way you have to tiptoe around people's like likes and dislikes so that you don't personally offend them. Like, especially if something's really popular. Like, I'm sorry about my shoulder. Especially if it's gross. It's an accident. It's I swear I'm not doing it on purpose. Anyway, like, if something's really popular and you personally just, like, don't like it, like, it's just not your thing, like, you have to tiptoe around it. Like, especially for me, like, I'm not really big on music, but, like, if someone plays something, I'm not big on Ariana Grande, so if I say, oh, you know, like, I don't really like her music, people go, like,
she's on your Christmas playlist?
I have one song of hers on my Christmas playlist, and that's because I like the song. She has a good vocal range and stuff. I just, like, I don't like her music, and so then, like, I get criticism for it because I don't agree with someone, which isn't how it, like, it should be based.
It's the same thing with, like, TV shows and movies. I think we canceled you for something like that too.
Friends? Friends is a big one. If you don't like Friends, people like don't like
or The Office, or like Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Like you will get like canceled. Like they'll tell you like you're canceled.
Yeah, you're canceled. You're done.
You're done. Like you can hear Coco say it in the back of your class. Actually, she does this thing. She's like, you're done.
She like tosses the "yeah" like between her hands and then shoots it.
One time I messed it up and went like this.
Natalie goes, you're done.
I got too fast. Anyway.
No, you're just uncoordinated.
Shut up. So it's the thing with cancel culture is that you really can't say the right thing anymore, which is essentially what they're saying in the novel. Like, writers can't write the same things anymore without it getting boring and repetitive, and you'll start to realize, like, when you look at the content now that, like, Gen Z produces, it's mostly, like, the same stuff. It's POV, you get this power from eating.
You're looking at that, I immediately thought of right now, like, my structure of this reading was Hallmark and how all the plots are the same. And even if you look at, like, movies, like, I know there was the whole thing where, like, Walt Disney wanted his animated movies to be made into live action, but people are already getting tired of it and saying, like, oh, well, they're just being, like, unoriginal and stuff like that. Like, all these things keep repeating themselves and people are getting, like, tired of it and they want more, like, original things, but they can't get them.
But the thing with being original is that people are so, like, judgy. Like, they're quick to judge originality. Yeah. Because originality is outside of the box, but the box has already been so formed into society that trying to go outside of it is like trying to cancel your own career. You have to build.
It's like when there's like, do you know what the best friend trope is? You know, like in like a
best friend to lovers.
Yeah. So like, people, when there's a best friend to lovers, people will be like, oh well, that's so basic, like it's already done. But then, if you don't do it, some people will be like, oh, well, that's nice. Like, that's, like, they get to stay as friends. But then other people get mad that they don't end up together because they have, like, such good chemistry or something. Like, it's like you can't please everyone, and there's no way to, like, you know what I'm talking about?
That's, like, the Webtoon audience.
Yeah,
so Bella and I read this, like, webcomic app called Webtoons, and on there, like, we read romance Webtoons mostly.
I'm talking about Siren's Lament.
He's like, I'm talking about Siren's Lament.
Siren's Lament ended months ago.
Whatever.
Get over it.
I was right. Anyway, so in Siren's Lament... Siren's Lament, I was...
See? Perfect example. She didn't even let me get my opinion across. I'd like to say, when we were fighting, personally, I liked one character better than the other, but that's because he was funnier. And the other one, they were just, like, pining over each other. It was, like, a sort of love triangle, but you could tell, like, it was just leaning on one side of the triangle. So you could tell which couple was going to end up together. But I
was rooting for.
Yeah, but personally, I just liked this. His name's Ian. I just liked Ian.
He was named after a dead goldfish.
That's not important to this. I liked this character because he was funnier, and like he brought more like spice. Like he was just like a funnier character who was more entertaining to me than like the other two pining. This is my personal preference.
The reason
and then Natalie got mad at me and literally shoved me out of the camera frame.
Yeah, the reason that I liked that couple more was because, as a writer.
I have a note on that comment, by the way, after this. Just a little pin in that.
Because as a writer, when you're writing your own kind of like love tropes and all that stuff, to go after the basic thing is kind of the thing you're trained to do. Not trained. It's kind of the things that you're taught to do. I took a creative writing class, sir. As you know. Great, did you get it? That's not important right now. I took a creative writing course. I'm currently taking another creative writing course to make up the credit from that creative writing course. the more you read it, the more you you can see that writing has become this repetitive thing because people want their work to be seen, and in order to
want familiarity.
They do want familiarity.
Like, if you want to be original, that's great and all, but you're not gonna get
that far.
You're not gonna get far because it's not what people are seeing. It's not like mainstream. It's like you kind of have to go like mainstream. Like if you think about it, like the way to get far, I guess, and whatever you're doing is go mainstream and then kind of branch out.
But then at some point, when you become mainstream, you're
expected to keep it up.
And then you stop becoming this cool thing. Like, you're cool when you're off screen. Like, no one knows about you, but all of a sudden you become mainstream and you're all of a sudden not that entertaining and not that cool.
That's like those quirky people that, like, think they listen to bands that, like, no one listens to. And it's like Led Zeppelin.
Like Billie Eilish, for example. Billie Eilish was seen as an indie artist for a really long time, but then all of a sudden she was this really popular artist. And she got so much hate because she was supposed to be this, like, quirky icon.
I like Billie Eilish as a person.
As a person,
music. I love her as a person. Her music is not for me.
It's not.
It's not for me. I got hated one time because they were like, no.
Billie Eilish personally is just a little too depressing for me. Yeah. Because the music she does, she focuses on, like, her own, like, works through mental illness, which is a very smart thing to do because you're working through your own, like, traumas and emotions and the way you can release it, and you can help other people
relate to other people, and you can help them.
But, like, when it comes to, like, certain types of music, like, I will listen to music that has to, like, deal with people with, like, the same illnesses as I do, but it's more like an upbeat, like, AJR.
It's AJR.
It's AJR.
It's AJR.
Look up the band. It's my favorite band. You don't have to like it. I won't cancel you, I suppose.
I don't like depressing music, or like slow-paced music is not really my thing. I will literally listen to anything except depressing country music and like kind of slowish music. I don't know. I know you have some good country music.
I have good country music.
I don't have like a personal preference. I just don't like depressing stuff or like really weird rap songs. I don't know. That's not
like Kanye.
Like all the songs about like.
I'm just old Kanye.
Stop. All those songs. You have to censor it, right? He's shaking his head in disappointment. Schmex. I don't know if I can
That's
I think he can see him.
I think you can see him from the glare. Brandon's on the tiny screen.
His name is Brandon, in case you didn't know. Oh, yeah. Also, I hope you appreciate my mug. I don't know if it's like backwards or not, but it says best person ever. My sister got it for me for my birthday, and she said it gave off Bella vibes, and I very much appreciated it, and I use it like every day. That's all I have to say.
But back to the novel. So one of the required parts of this talk was to talk about, like...
Wait, I didn't get to comment on something.
Go ahead while I look up the requirement.
So before, I don't know if you remember, Natalie said as a writer. So another thing is, like, nowadays, unless you're an expert in something, like, people don't... How do I say this? You need a refresher.
Oh, because as, like, claiming that you are something, you have to be, like, this top-notch professional, be the best one in the field.
You have to be, like, an expert in something. Yeah. Like,
that's why...
Like, when a girl wears a band t-shirt and, like, people... It's guys. It's guys. It's men. It's men. It's men. Males. It's men. It's specifically you, Dr. Donovan. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
You're very supportive, sir.
They'll be like, name 5 songs, or like they test you. Like if you brand yourself as liking something. Girls. Yeah, if you brand yourself as like liking like one thing, like you don't even have to like it that much, but if you like it, then you're expected to be like an expert in something.
Yeah, and
that was kind of off topic to what I was saying. But she was saying like as a writer, and so when you say like I'm not a writer, but she says as a writer, and so like in your mind you can automatically like put her opinion above mine, even though it's not.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works. Our opinions are equal. Like they have the same importance. They're equal, like
and value.
And value. That's I kept thinking like valid.
Because
they have the same value. But once you say that, like in your mind, you can think, oh well, her opinion is higher because she's like an expert or something. It's like, well, no, my opinion still matters as much as hers. It's just that she has a different point of view because she's a writer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like work that way.
All my sense that we have a new guest. It's Bella's boyfriend.
He's at the. That's
Anyway.
You know, at least he said hi.
That's true.
Say hi to Dr. Donovan, Glenn.
Hey, Dr. Donovan.
Oh, you didn't say hi, Brandon.
Brandon, say hi to Dr. Donovan.
Hi, Dr. Donovan.
Anyway, so
Dr. Donovan, now you know not what they look like, but you know what they sound like at least.
they have deep voices.
Wait, can they see us?
They do. No,
Well,
not really.
Not really.
Anyway, so
Probably here.
Okay.
Anyway, so
I'm lower than.
the thing with saying like from a writer's perspective, it's just that's my writing style. That would be my perspective, but yours would be something completely different,
And it would be more
if
as like
not-
an audience thing.
Yeah, and if not
Because
more
you read it.
valuable, because you want the audience member to enjoy what they're reading more than what the writer would enjoy writing when it comes to sales.
Exactly.
So, like, as much as, like, I'd like to sit here and say, well, like, the writer has the best point of view, they really don't. They have what they enjoy, and then, like, somebody else would have what they prefer. So, like, back to what Bella was saying, her opinion would be seen as less than mine, even though hers would be more valuable compared
So
to
I'm
mine.
scared to say I like some stuff sometimes, like other people. I'll be like, oh, well, I like Marvel, and I'm, like, quizzed on everything. And it's not that hard to answer. Like, I'm a nerd about it. But, like, it's hard to say you like something. I don't know. That's just my personal thing. Like, it's... I don't know. I get scared to say I like some stuff.
No, because, like, you used
Because
to say
then
you
you're-
liked Marvel back in, like, freshman year, and then all of a sudden you stopped saying it.
Did I?
Yeah, because I think, like, at some point somebody started quizzing you. I don't know who started quizzing you.
Who was quizzing me?
I was trying to
I don't remember. It was Dr. Donovan.
It was Dr.
men.
Donovan. Men.
It was the male.
Anyway,
I don't understand what is it with...
we have
with
an assignment
guys
to do. We
saying-
still have a checklist to do.
This is called a pause for entertainment.
Okay.
He has...
This is gonna be longer than the
It's
required.
obligatory. He has to watch this whole thing.
It's gonna be
He
longer.
doesn't know when the breaks are. So he has to watch the entire thing. And he can't skip through anything.
This
So,
is gonna be longer.
really, we
than-
could...
we can talk for hours, sir, and you'd
We
be
could.
here.
It'd be great. The only thing is you can't put in your stuff. But it'd be great if you could, like, watch this really quick. That way we continue this good discussion on Monday.
Yeah.
Just, like, email us so I can rewatch this so I know what the hell I talked about. Because, honestly, I'm not going to remember. It's 12:20.
Yeah,
we made copies specifically so we could stay up.
Yeah.
And do not lose math. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Then you
What
can
were
throw away that note. Anyway, so this video is very much going to be longer than the required 16
We're
minutes.
already...
Yeah, we're a minute past.
We're good.
So
We can just end it right here.
we could end it, but there's also a checklist that we
Yeah,
have to get
I
through. So in one of your requirements, you did say that you wanted a close examination of a scene or a language. So I'm going to be focusing on the scene where Montauk.
Done by Natalie.
Oh yes, I'm gonna focus on the scene where Montauk meets Clarice for the first time, and he's meeting this like sense of innocence in this world. I don't know why you're doing that with your face. He's meeting this first sense of like innocence and like childlike wonder when it comes to books and literature, which tends to be like a symbolism that like an opinion is going to change when they bring in an innocent point of view in an already dystopian world. Yes, Bella.
I'd like to point out that some people thought that he liked her, a 17-year-old. However, I didn't see it that way. I just thought it was like him, like discovering this new point of view and like this other. I hate my arm. I'm so sorry.
You're getting an X-ray for that, right?
Yeah, we just have to schedule it. I think my mom
So you're
lost
not
the
getting an
paper.
X-ray
No.
for it.
I should be getting an X-ray. There's like she said the joint maybe like 2 showers. And anyway,
Back to Montauk.
yeah. So what was I saying? I just think it's a new point of view. I don't like the way people are like, oh well, no, that's disgusting because he liked it. It's like no, he doesn't. He just thinks it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's not romantic. I don't like
thinks
things
it's
to say
more
it's
of like a
romantic.
platonic relationship.
It's platonic. It's like a new. I
Totally
don't want to say it's a new experience. I don't want to say it's a new experience.
Well,
It sounds
it's more of
weird.
like a new set of views that he wasn't.
A new perspective.
Yeah, it was a new perspective that he wasn't ready to receive, especially from someone so much younger than him.
This is a really fuzzy tree.
Anyway, so like after he meets Clarice and meeting that sense of innocence, like obviously once you meet like a little kid and they kind of talk to you about something, you're kind of sitting there wondering about what they're talking about again. Like I saw a TikTok once about a person and they were talking about a kid and meeting a kid, and the kid was like, "I'm so glad these people moved." And the kid and the person was like, well, yeah, like it's doing like really like it's gonna be better on their tax reforms, like stuff like that. And the kid's like, no, the ceilings are lower. And like the person's like, what is this kid going on about? And he's like, the ceilings are lower, so if like I let go of a balloon, I can just grab it.
That's facts.
So
I just grabbed Tom's.
So it's like seeing that perspective of a younger kid again and that sense of innocence. And even though she's 17, like it's showing innocence at different levels.
Yeah. I mean, like, 17 is still a kid, especially for, I'm assuming this guy's, like, middle-aged.
Yeah, I think he's in, like, his 30s is what they said.
Yeah. Like, for me, like, a kid is, like, a toddler. Or, like, not. You
but,
know what
like,
I mean?
once you get to his 30s.
To, like, Dr. Donovan, we're kids.
Yeah.
I mean, we are kids.
Are we kids to you, sir?
Yes, we're kids to him.
We're minors.
We're minors. I have a month. Delena's not a minor anymore.
I just became the ending part of a minor, so...
She's in her last year, her last lab.
Anyway, so like Montauk meeting, and then like this sense of like change was in the air because like his wife ended up like he went home and then he ended up learning that his wife attempted suicide by taking a bottle of like sleeping pills.
Yeah.
And then
she really wanted a good nap.
Yeah, and like with that you can see that like she truly cared so little about life at that point. Like she was so ready to lose everything. And then this sense of innocence dies. Like Clarice dies in a car accident. And like once you see this sense of innocence die, you can feel this shift in the novel that like it's gonna go downhill from here. Like the climax is when Montauk like has I'll actually get to that right now. So Montauk goes and he sees like all the books that he has hidden around his house in the various like hiding spots, and he doesn't show up for work one day because he's trying to figure out like why this girl cared about books so much. So then Beatty comes and
he's trying to figure out like the role that she played in his life.
I think he was trying to do that, but also trying to figure out like why did I meet this girl who cared about books so much? Like what is the big deal about them? And so while he was trying to figure that out, like he decided to read some of the books that he had hidden around like his house and all that stuff. And like he's telling his wife, and his wife is so unentertained, and she's just watching TV like a mindless zombie like the rest of the people in their society.
I feel so bad for him. Like
honestly, Montauk was just trying to live his best life.
Honestly, his wife was just so like everyone in his life was just so uninterested in his life.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
Gen Z.
Yeah, like, everyone was detached from everyone. Where, like, you couldn't have a really good human connection with anyone.
This book is essentially like a future telling of what Gen Z's generation seems to be heading towards.
So, I don't want to do that.
But it's not like the desired society, it's just the society that it seems to be heading.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I saying? Right. So Montauk ends up having to like speak to Beatty because Beatty comes over to his house and he tells him like, look, you can sit there for 24 hours, like take the rest of like 24 hours and read the books that you have and then come and talk to me. And
I think he's given 24 hours to read the books. Legally
he's given 24 hours to read the books.
They're trying to prove to him
that
like there's no big like there's not a big deal, and like they're actually kind of dangerous. That's why you need to burn them. Like you shouldn't be reading them, you know.
Yeah. But
and then just
yeah, so like he's trying to read these these books in the 24 hours. He's like trying to understand, and it's too difficult for him to understand. Like he's struggling trying to understand it. Like what Clarice saw in it, and I don't know, my laptop made a noise, but like
it's telling you that you're talking too long,
probably. Like he's trying to figure out like what Clarice like, why it mattered so much to her, and I lost my train of thought again. And
if you want, you can just end there. You spoke a lot.
I did speak a lot, but no, there was like a whole point that I was gonna read into your dramatic reading. And favorite. Reading. That's why. So he goes and meets this retired English professor that he had once met at a park, and his name was Faber, or that's how I read it. I don't know if that's actually how you read it. And he tries to talk to him, and Faber like sits there and he tells him about like all this stuff, and like about the books and how to understand them, and how like society may deem it as dangerous because of how like intellectually challenged like it could force you, I guess.
It could challenge you intellectually.
Yeah, it can challenge you, and like that society isn't ready for it. Like they don't want that. So he goes back to see that, like, and he goes to the fire station to turn on all the books, and like he's talking to Beatty, and while they're there, they get a call. So because they're all on duty, they go they hop on the fire truck and they go to, you know, Montauk's own house, and Beatty turns to him and he's like, burn it down. You have to burn down your house and everything inside of it. And while trying to figure out who made the call, it was none other than his wife, who was willing to risk it all.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. And they foreshadowed that with the like pills and willing to risk it all. Like she was willing to report her husband.
I don't think she was ready to risk it all, because she
was trying to die.
She was trying to die. Like, she didn't have anything to risk.
But she was willing to lose everything. She didn't care about anything.
She didn't care about anything, so she had nothing to risk. So she had nothing to lose.
And like other than like her life.
She didn't care about that.
But she didn't care about that. So
she had nothing to lose.
risking her husband's life, it really didn't matter to her. Like she could just be like, whatever.
So it wasn't a risk to her.
But it was foreshadowing that she was willing to do.
Yeah.
Like this kind of thing. And so after he he doesn't want to burn down the house, instead of burning down his house, he burns Beatty. And he kills him. And now we turn to Bella's dramatic reading.
Require modern solutions. Now we have a dramatic reading. just to make sure it's like...
You're stopping right there and then... Wait. Alright. Right there at feet.
At feet?
At feet.
I'm sure not just... And
yes.
then...
Yes, I'm sure.
I like the little dramatic ending.
Okay, then you can edit that.
It's going to be super dramatic. I hope you're prepared.
Should I say what?
Like, where I'm reading?
You
like,
can.
from this copy? I'm reading off of page 115. I don't know if, you want to make sure that I'm reading the correct book or not. Anyway,
Imagine.
He's going to be like, that doesn't sound right. It's not the same page I have. Okay. A shotgun blast went off in his leg every time he put it down, and he thought, "You're a fool. A damn fool. An awful fool. An idiot. An awful idiot. A damn idiot." It doesn't count because it's a word. "And a fool. A damn fool. Look at the mess, and where's the mop? Look at the mess, and what do? Pride, damn it, and temper. And you've junked it all. At the very start, you vomit on everyone and on yourself. But everything at once. But everything one on top of another. Beatty, the woman, Mildred, Clarice, everything. No excuse, though. No excuse. A fool. A damn fool. Go give yourself up. No, we'll say what we can. We'll do what there is left to do." I'm sorry, I can't read it when it's far. I need glasses. I tried. What are you doing?
Getting comfy.
Okay. "No, we'll say what we can. We'll do what there is left to do. If we have to burn, let's take a few more with us. Here." He remembered the books and turned back, just on the off chance. He found a few books where he had left them, near the garden fence. Mildred, God bless her, had missed a few. 4 books still lay hidden where he had put them. Voices were wailing in the night, and flash balloons swirled about. Other salamanders were roaring, their engines far away, and police sirens were cutting their way across town with their sirens.
How are you guys doing?
Montauk took the 4 remaining books and hopped his way down the alley, and suddenly fell as if his head had been cut off, and only his body lay there. Something inside had jerked him to a halt and flopped him down. He lay where he had fallen and sobbed, his legs folded, his face pressed blindly to the gravel. Beatty wanted to die. In the middle of the crying, Montauk knew it for the truth. Beatty wanted to die. He had just stood there, not really trying to save himself, just stood there, joking, needling, thought Montauk. and the thought was enough to stifle his sobbing and let him pause for air. How strange. Strange to want to die so much that you let a man walk around armed, and then instead of shutting up and staying alive, you go on yelling at people and making fun of them until you get them mad. And then that's a dramatic reading.
It should be on record that Belle's little sister did come while she was reading, and that's why she started reading aggressively at some parts. Please do
I
not
feel like it added to the truth.
Please do not let that affect our grade. Right now she's praying
in the laundry room closet.
I
Check again because it's in there.
Anyway, this was 30 minutes of your life.
I feel like we should talk more and add to it. Never mind, my brother's home. We're gonna end it before he says something really stupid.
I don't know. Please don't give us a bad grade.